Congratulations to the champions of Super Bowl 57, the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Hi, everybody. We're breaking it all down right here on Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
You still honoring Tom Brady even after he's gone? You're still celebrating Brady.
I'm not going to allow you to diminish the new GOAT.
The new GOAT?
The new GOAT.
You mean Jalen Hurts is already the GOAT? He outplayed Patrick Mahomes yesterday.
I played it what?
Huh? Huh?
You want one?
The GOAT?
I don't know who you're going to turn to now. Tom Brady's retired. Who's your new quarterback? I just need to know.
I'll take the guy who outplayed Patrick Mahomes
No,
yesterday.
Skip, don't do that. Skip, don't do that. For real, Skip?
Yes, for real.
Oh, my goodness. That was a good game last night with it, Skip.
You were very lucky.
I wasn't lucky.
Take another drink.
Take another?
To luck. Let's toast luck for Shannon Sharpe. Let's toast bad calls. How about that?
Skip, don't do that, Skip.
Here's to a bad call that marred one of the greatest Super Bowls ever. Congratulations, Shannon.
I'll finish it off.
Yep. Good.
How you doing today, Skip?
I'm doing great. I can't wait.
Hold up. What are my 5 cases?
Yeah, well, where are the other 60 you owe me?
No, 60. I didn't even want to bet you. I said, I don't want to bet, Skip, because I know this is the Super Bowl. This is for all the marbles. That's what you tell me. When all the chips are put to the center of the table.
Okay. All right.
Let's go, Jen. You see, Jen.
You did. You stole 5 cases yesterday.
Jen,
way to go.
We playing this deal with Jen, because we going to double up on Skip today. Look at Jen, what you got on. Look at what I got on. Yeah, you in trouble.
I don't know what it's in honor of. The Chargers?
Well, guys,
is that who you're supposed to be?
Predicted.
No Chargers.
It would
no
be
Chargers
a
today.
3-point game.
Just the greatness of my homeboy.
One expensive call for the Eagles. Shannon, should a flag indeed have been thrown?
Yes, it was a flag. James Bradberry admitted as much, that he held him. It's really that simple. They don't throw penalties and say, you know what, we can throw penalties in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, early in the fourth quarter. But if it's late in the ball game, we're not going to throw a penalty because it might impact the ball game. James Bradberry IV impacted the ball game. He got out of position, he knew he was beat, and he held Juju in order for getting to his route. He ran an option route. He released inside on the shallow. He, dropped his hip, was going to option back out, and he tugged him with his right hand. It's a penalty. But you know what I didn't hear? I remember just 3 years, I think it was 4 years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, Patrick Mahomes' first year. D Ford lined up offsides. Tom Brady threw an interception. I didn't hear not one person said, I can't believe the official threw the flag.
I heard you say it all for like 2.5 hours.
No, I didn't, Skip, because he lined up offsides. If you commit a penalty, it doesn't matter. If I'm in victory formation, I go to take a knee. The defense jumps offside. They're going to throw a penalty, even though we're going into victory formation. Skip, he held him. James Bradberry admitted as much. He said, yes, I grabbed his jersey. I tugged his jersey. I was hoping the official wouldn't call it.
He did not say he grabbed him.
What
he said he held him. That's what he said. I held him.
Okay. He held him.
Yep.
Sorry for the the words of the wordplay.
Yes.
See, now, so you calling James Bradberry a liar?
Nope, I'm not.
So
I appreciate the fact he took the high road and all of the blame.
No, Skip. Yep. No. It wasn't no high road. He did that. So let me get this straight. Wells Fargo on Wilshire, between Westwood and Gailey on Wilshire, got robbed. They said, we got robbed. I raised my hand. I robbed the bank. Man, Shannon, they robbed that bank. They shouldn't arrest Shannon Sharpe for that. I just told you I robbed the bank. The bank said it got robbed. Carl Shepard. He said, told pool reporters, the receiver went inside. He was attempting to release to the outside. The defender grabbed his jersey with his right hand and restricted him from releasing outside. So therefore, defensive holding. It's plain as day. That's what happens, Skip. You don't throw. You cannot be in a situation say the ball game is tied. You know what? It's a flag. It's a penalty, but I'm not going to call it because I don't want people to think I impacted the game. No, James Bradberry IV impacted the game. He got out of position. He held to keep Juju from beating on the whip route, and that's what happened. It's really that simple, Skip. It's really not that complicated. Yes, it was a very good game. Yes, both teams scored 35 points, and I told you it was going to be a high-scoring game. And I went back and looked at the box score from last year. Skip, remember they played last year, and Patrick Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns with 1 interception, and Tyreek went bonkers. So I said, you know what? That defense could be had. I thought it was going to be a 34-31 ball game. I was off. It was 38-35. But I just felt that the way these offenses could go up and down the field, it was going to come down to one mistake, Skip. And it was the one mistake was what?
By the referee.
No.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball, Skip. Because if you think about it, Skip, if you watch the play clock, the Eagles never snapped the ball outside of 5 seconds because they're trying to minimize Patrick Mahomes' time of possession. They know. But I told you, what did I tell you? He don't need the ball long. He don't need it long. He don't need it. And did a number on y'all.
Okay.
He's official to go now.
Okay. It is now my turn to respond to the flag that was thrown that marred one of the all-time great Super Bowls and robbed the Philadelphia Eagles of a shot with 1.5 minutes left, with a quarterback who did outplay Patrick Mahomes yesterday of having one last real shot. 1.5 minutes left. As hot as his hand was, as great as his playmaking skills were on display yesterday, I would not have bet against him, not only to go down and get the tying field goal, because it would have been 38-35 at that point with 1.5 minutes left.
Right.
I believe he would have gone and scored a touchdown that would have won the game. But we'll never know because a referee threw a ticky-tack cheap flag, a cheap foul call that ruined the game and took away a chance for the Eagles to win a game that I thought they were highly capable of winning. The flag should not have been thrown because it was the classic NBA-style play where you just say play on. There wasn't nearly enough there to throw a game-ending penalty flag.
But he held it.
I don't see a jersey grab. I don't know. I'm talking about an obvious, blatant fistful of jersey. I don't see it. I don't see it. He touches him with his right hand.
No, Skip. No, not that play. Right here, Skip. He's grabbing him.
No, he didn't. He didn't grab him. He just put his hand on his side.
No,
there's no fistful of jersey there.
Skip,
then he touches him with the left hand. And meanwhile, there's no impeding. It's a strike, what they call a strike route. So you're supposed to strike in, strike out. And the ref struck out. That's who struck out because he throws a flag on a 50-50 call at best that is going to end the game because Mahomes has got a little bit of pressure. He had no pressure the whole game, but Sweat's making him sweat a little bit. And I'm pretty sure he's just throwing it away because the ball is way uncatchable. If there's no impeding whatsoever, the ball is way uncatchable.
Well, the reason why he threw it away because the guy held. So let me ask you a question. So why did James Bradberry touch him? If he was in such great position, why did he feel he needed to put any hand on him?
Okay, it's just like hand checking in basketball. He's just a little hand check with the right, little hand check with the left. But I don't see a blatant grab and pull because you don't see Juju impeded at all. You don't see him redirected. I don't see anything where, oh, he can't move. He's not being allowed to break backward.
You make it seem like the guy tackled him. The rule says you cannot impede. I need to be able to go inside, run my route without you at any point in time deterring me from moving back to in the direction I want to go. That's what the rule says. So it doesn't have to, you don't have to tackle the guy. The guy doesn't have to fall down. He tugged him. And the really good DBs understand how to tug away from the official, but just so happens that Juju back was right to the judge, the side judge, and he could see it.
I don't see it. And by the way, our man Greg Olson, who's done an amazing job this year as our new lead analyst, jumped right on top of it with some very strong commentary of that's not a flag.
Why isn't it?
And our man Mike Pereira cross-examined him, and then to Greg's undying credit, he doubled down on it. Let's hear what they had to say. Listen, because you don't hear the sound. I did not hear this.
The moment should not matter whether a penalty is thrown. If it's a foul, it is a foul.
How about let's close the case with somebody you know fairly well, the great LeBron James. Great sports fan, great mind, highest IQ in basketball, and really, really knows the game of football. Could we see what he tweeted? I'm assuming from the box that he was attending at the game. He said, sorry, but I don't like that call. Not for the Super Bowl, man. His hand on his back had no effect on his route. This game was too damn good for that call to dictate the outcome at the end. Damn. By the way, I have no horse in the race, just my professional opinion. Thank you, Mr. James, for closing the case.
Can I disagree with LeBron?
Yeah, well, you better.
How about this here?
Yeah.
Well, I agree. That's why the official swallowed the whistle when Jason Tatum fouled you. Official should not have thrown the flag in that moment. That game was too good to be marred by a penalty by Jason Tatum at the end. You see, LeBron lost his mind because why, Skip? Why? He got fouled by Jason Tatum in the closing seconds. So under that scenario,
it was blatant. The whole world said it was a foul. Blatant. It was blatant. Nobody in the world, nobody said, I don't know about that one. I definitely don't know about this one. I don't see a fistful of jerseys.
Wait a minute, Skip. Under scenario, what LeBron just said, that game was too good to be decided by an official in the final seconds.
Well, it's a ticky-tack call.
Okay, it's ticky-tack. So you got to let him play on. No blood drawn. So in other words, you say, well, Shannon, he didn't pull his pants down. He didn't pull his jersey off. So therefore, it can't be a foul. It is a penalty. And you can't dictate, you can't let the game is close. It's late in the fourth quarter. We can't throw a flag. That's not the way referees are supposed to officiate ball games, regardless of sport.
Well, unfortunately for the Philadelphia Eagles, the flag got thrown, and instead of Jalen Hurts having a minute and a half left, he had 8 seconds left. Way to go. Congratulations, Shannon. Congratulations, Patrick.
Are you not upset at the Eagles' defense? Patrick Mahomes had 4 possessions in the second half. What did he do with them, Skip? He cashed all of them. 3 touchdowns in that last field goal right there. So don't be mad at the officials because you had a 10-point lead. Skip, at the end of the day, and I have the utmost respect for Greg Olsen. He played the position I play. And as a matter of fact, I saw him at Super Bowl.
And by the way, I'm going to double down on this. He was really good this year. Like, really, really good.
I'm going to take your word for it.
Yes.
Because I haven't heard. But Skip, you cannot officiate a game saying, well, because the game is a playoff game, or the game is this, and it's in the waning seconds, swallow your whistle when a penalty has been, when a foul has been committed.
I don't care. First quarter, overtime, second quarter, fourth quarter, I don't care. I'm not throwing a flag on that. It's just hands-on where you're just touching. You're not impeding at all.
And you do realize these are the best officials the NFL has to offer. Congratulations to my homeboy, SSU's finest stump, Roy Ellison, umpire, his 3rd Super Bowl, Skip. These are the best that the NFL has to offer. Now, you're telling me because it was the Super Bowl, because it's 35-35, don't throw a penalty. I know you saw a penalty. I know he impeded his progress, but don't throw it in this moment, because the moment is too big for a penalty. So why the hell you have officials then?
The refs had not been a factor the whole day. They're at their best when we don't notice them. And finally, one ref had to throw one flag that decided the game. It ended the game.
Well, I thought early on, Juju complained about a penalty, and I thought Bradberry held him on that one. I think it was in the first quarter, maybe early second quarter. I thought Bradberry impeded him then. Okay. And what if he was smart, he went to the officials. Now, you owe me one. Now, you saw him. He spit me around on that one.
Maybe that's what he did.
Look at this. See?
Maybe he got paid.
Look at this. Yep. So I guess this is not a penalty either, huh, Skip? That's not a penalty either. Yep. That's not a penalty either, right?
That was worse than the last one.
Thank you.
I will agree.
So that was a 3rd down. So now they got to punt the football. So you see what you do is that you get up, look at it, holding. So he got away with one. He didn't learn his lesson. So you guess what happened? Now, if I tell you it's hot, and you go back and touch it again, you're going to get burned. He went to the well too late. See? Tugged him by the jersey.
So that play actually lost the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, the Eagles' defense lost the Super Bowl for the Eagles.
And who called that all for 2 weeks? Who kept calling it? Somebody sat across from me for 2 straight weeks saying, the Eagles are the much deeper team. Baloney, they are.
Skip.
That's the biggest crock you've ever tried to sell me on this show. What did I tell you about from the start?
You picked him.
I know, because of Jalen Hurts, and he did everything I thought he would do. I predicted it from top to bottom, what Jalen Hurts would do. But I said that the Eagles' defense allowed 40 points at Dallas on Christmas Eve. I said they're flawed, they're gettable, they're torchable, and that Brandon Ayuk told the truth last week when he said they're going to get exposed. And I told you yesterday on our show, pre-game show yesterday on Big Fox, I said Jalen Hurts is going to have to rise above his defense, because if his defense is on the field for too long, Mahomes will have his way, because that pass rush is the most overrated pass rush in the history of football. They were supposed to be on a historic pace. They could pass the 85 Bears if they get 3 sacks today. And I'm saying They didn't even breathe on Patrick Mahomes because his offensive line led the league in pass block win rate.
And the Eagles' defensive line led the league in pass rush win rate.
I don't know. Did you see any wins yesterday?
Skip, they did everything you said. You said that Jalen Hurts needed to be somewhere between like 9 and 15.
Yeah.
He was 11 of 18. He was 13.
That works.
He was 13 of 20 on 3rd and 4th down.
Okay.
You said time of possession needed to be 35 to 25. It was 36-24. So they did everything. But Skip, that's why I told you it was going to be a high-scoring game, because I thought the defenses, both of the defenses, I was surprised. The one thing that surprised me, Skip, was Kansas City's ability to stop the run. You got to be surprised by that, because outside of Jalen Hurts scrambles.
Hey, what did I tell you going in? Pacheco was the best running back on the field, except for Jalen Hurts. But as far as running backs went, is there anybody? Did you see Miles Sanders yesterday? Did you see Gainwell? They're not that good.
I'm not, Skip. I disagree with you, because Miles Sanders had over 1,200 yards. But I don't know. Something happened. I mean, the first play of the game, he fumbled the ball. They got a big hit on him. But and they seem to have went with Gainwell, and they went with Boston as opposed to Miles Sanders. So I'm sure it will come out. Something's going to come out, because I was surprised that he didn't get more opportunities.
Didn't you love what Pacheco did? They had 158 yards rushing.
And think about it, Skip. 26 rushes, 27 pass attempts. Patrick Mahomes, they scored 38 points. They had the ball 8 times. So if you look at it, if Buckner doesn't miss that field goal, they score on 6 of those 8 possessions. That's why when I went back, that's why I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, because, look, what about your guy Reddick? Did you hear Reddick's name called yesterday?
No, I did not.
What about Sweat? What about Brandon Graham?
I saw Sweat get one rush on Mahomes that was legit.
Brown wiped him out.
Yeah.
And if you look at one of the scrambles that Mahomes got to the right, Wiley is mauling Hassan Reddick. I'm talking about mauling him.
He was.
They should have called a cop. They should have threw a flag on that. Assault with intent to do bodily harm.
How about big play Slay? I think didn't play Slay. I couldn't find him.
Well, I don't know if he had MVS, because, Skip, it was late in the 3rd quarter before he completed the pass to Juju, to the wide receivers. Prior to that, everything was either to the running backs or it was to Travis Kelce. Even Noah Gray, I think his name is Noah Gray. I think that's the tight end.
The other tight end.
And they got an incompletion trying to throw it to the other tight end. So then all of a sudden, the receiver's like, hold on, wait a minute. Look at all their receivers getting the ball. Look at Devontae, and look at A.J. Brown, and look at all these guys getting the ball. Let me get me some of that. Okay, then Juju come. And then Kadarius Toney ran the same route. It's something from that formation that Kansas City saw, Skip. Both times you saw Toney do it to one side, Sky Moore. They bring the double gut blitz. The guys know they got to get over the top because it's blitz coming. Option back out. I'm talking about wide open. But, Skip, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with LeBron. And I understand the Eagles' frustration. I think every side, if you're Eagles, you say, let that go. If you're Kansas City, you say that was a flag.
Okay.
I don't really have a dog in the fight. Hell, Skip, I played in Denver. Kansas City was one of our division rivals. So I'm
a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Exactly.
I hate the Eagles. Neither of us have a dog in the fight.
So, but I think, for me, that was a penalty. And I don't think the time of the game or the magnitude of the game should dictate whether a penalty is thrown or not.
Okay, we agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
So the single biggest reason to you that the Chiefs won that Super Bowl was?
My homeboy had to be great in the second half, and he was better than great. I don't know if there's something, what is better than great? Because he was 13 of 14, 93%. And
not 93 yards.
No, I'm saying 93% completion.
Yeah, but he threw for 93 yards.
But here's the thing, Skip. The Eagles was taking so much time off the clock. He had to score every possession. If he doesn't score on every possession, guess what? There's 5-6 minutes off the clock before they get the ball back. The Eagles took the ball 11 plays. Eagles took the ball 17 plays. Do you know how much time runs off a clock, Skip? They couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. Skip, and they weren't picking up just 3rd and 3s. They picked up 3rd and 14. They picked up 3rd and 11. They picked up 3rd and 9. Who in the hell picks up 3rd and 9, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 11? Continuously, consistently, the Eagles did yesterday. Patrick Mahomes knew that. He's hobbled. They tried to maim my man, but he on one leg. But you see, you see when the money needed, they shoved the money to the middle of the table. That's what you love to say about Tom Brady. He took that ball. You ain't never seen a quarterback run like that. Tom Brady could never pick him up and put him down like old my homeboy.
He never needed to.
Now look at this. Look at that, Skip. Look at it pulling away from folks.
Boy,
Pulling away.
That ankle looks pretty good.
No, don't do that, Skip. Hold on. No, hold on. I'm going to go back to what you said. You said that you sprained your ankle on some running shoes, but you was able to chug along, go right ahead.
Because you know and I know, and he said after the game, it's okay running straight ahead. Yeah. It's when you have to plant and cut, you can't. Because it is just too stinging painful. Yeah. Okay? I get all that. All right. Patrick Mahomes was very good in the second half.
No, he was great.
But he was an all-time great in the second half, and I think you're overrating what he did because to throw for only 93 yards in the second half is not as sensational as, say, Brady against Seattle's Legion of Boom. That was 124 in the fourth quarter. Or Brady coming back from 28-3 down against the Atlanta Falcons in that Super Bowl. That was 246 yards by Brady in the fourth quarter and overtime as they came all the way back to 34-28.
But in order to get an opportunity, Skip, you have to have the ball. Look how little he actually possessed the ball. Skip, the man scored 38 points with 24 minutes time of possession. Who does that?
Well, he did it against that defense that I first guessed because I told you they got to play the New York Football Giants in the first playoff game at home, and the Giants were overachieving all year, which is why Brian Daboll won Coach of the Year, and I give it to him. He deserved it.
Yes.
Then they got to play the San Francisco 49ers without a quarterback because Brock Purdy was gone in the first series. And Ayuk said, we were going to expose them, and we lost our quarterback.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened.
True.
So whatever time Patrick Mahomes had the ball yesterday, he was going to do severe damage on a defense that was wildly, dramatically overrated.
Yes.
I kept telling you, I have no idea how the Eagles are a 1.5 favorite in this game because I tried to first guess it, close my eyes before I saw the first spread, and I said Kansas City should be a 4 or 5 point favorite.
Right.
Well, they have the two best offensive players in Mahomes and Kelsey, and they both they're playing in their third Super Bowl, so experience was all on their side.
Yes.
Chris Jones is the best defensive player on the field, and he didn't have a great game, but he is the anchor of that defensive line. And by the way, they did not run them out of the park as a lot of people thought they were.
I thought they was. Jalen Hurts' legs and a lot of that skill was scrambled.
It was. I agree. So the point was, Jalen Hurts had to be extraordinary yesterday, and I was so proud of him. I've been a fan of his since his days at Alabama and the 1 year he spent at the University of Oklahoma because his father raised him the right way. He's got as great a football backbone as I've ever seen, and in his first Super Bowl, I thought he played well enough to be the second player ever to win MVP as a losing quarterback, okay? Because my guy Chuck Howley, who just got elected to the Hall of Fame on honors night, as we knew, on last Thursday night, he's a linebacker who got I'm pretty sure the vote was already in because my Cowboys lost to Baltimore on a walk-off field goal, 16-13, and Chuck Howley, a linebacker, not a big star, but a very good player.
Yeah, he was a good player.
And as a senior candidate, he deserves to be in your Hall of Fame. But again, I thought Jalen made a strong case that he could have been the MVP in this game because he threw for 304 yards. He ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for another touchdown. No quarterback in the history of this game has ever done that.
Right.
No quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl has ever run for as many as 70 yards in a game, and he did that.
Yes.
And I loved the way he bounced back and fought back and bounced back and fought back all game long. And it started with Andy Reid wins the coin flip, and you and I agree. I don't know why you defer when you've got Patrick Mahomes on your side, but he dared Jalen Hurts with the opening kickoff. You take it and see what you can do against my defense. Kansas City's defense is significantly better to me than Philadelphia's defense. The degree of difficulty for Jalen Hurts, scale of 1 to 10, was an 8. The degree of difficulty for Patrick was a 3 against Philly's defense.
Skip, Philly defense rated across the board better than Kansas City's.
Okay, I've just been watching them all year, and I don't see it. I don't get it.
Well, there were some things that started happening late in the year with the Eagles defense that caused me some concern. And I think we've come out here and we voiced it. You had the same concerns that I had, but people told you and I both to shut up. Y'all, they were winning. We undefeated. Well, yada, yada, yada. You don't know what you're talking about. I say, I see some things with your defense that's going to cause you some problems if you ever get into a situation where a quarterback can light you up. All the really good quarterbacks, Skip, unfortunately, are in the AFC right now. I don't think you would disagree with that. Probably the top 10 of the top 10 quarterbacks, Probably 7 of them are in the AFC.
Okay.
And so that's not what the Eagles had to face, the gauntlet of going through those guys.
They did not. But I thought that Jalen Hurts played as great a game for a losing quarterback as I've ever seen in a Super Bowl.
I won't disagree with you.
Okay, it was extraordinary from start to finish. He goes 75 yards in 11 plays, and it's 7-0 Eagles.
The longest opening drive since the Patriots.
Okay, there you go. And then I thought, well, let's look at his first touchdown throw, the one to A.J. This is wavelength. This is one of your closest friends in the world. This is throwing it up to where you know he's supposed to get to.
Yeah, the corner's supposed to be outside.
Find the football. Can't find the football.
They got him doubled. Thornberry's inside.
Says, I know you're going to get there. I know you're going to get to the corner, and he gets to the corner, and the DB can't find the football. But I still think it was a great throw and a great route.
It should have been picked if the corner, but he's a rookie.
Can't find
so
it.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a rookie.
Okay.
He misplayed it.
I love the throw. And then Patrick faces a 3rd and 8 at the 27. And this is the one pass that I thought was bad old Patrick, where he got a little careless with the football and tried to force one. And the game was starting to change. This is early in the second quarter, where he forces one to Juju in the middle of the field. And it's pretty shaky. I'm not sure this is.
That's the holding call.
Oh, that's the holding call. It's another one. It was a 4th. That's not the right one, but it's okay. All right. So that sets up what I thought was Jalen's best play, and that was 3rd and 8 from the 35 on Pascal, where he escapes and rolls back.
Oh, yeah.
If you could see the escape, and he
came with a blitz, came with a delayed blitz.
And he outruns the blitzer and throws it to Pascal, and I said, this man is on fire.
He was.
That was a big-time Super Bowl throw for a first down on 3rd and 8. But they have a penalty on, they're going to quarterback sneaking, and sets him back to 3rd and 5 at the 49. And this is the play of the game, the negative play of the game. It's the only turnover of the game, and it wasn't stripped. He just tried to change hands, and he lost the handle, as you can see on the fumble here. He tries to change hands, and he lost the football, and he gets a terrible, bad bounce break because it goes right to Bolton.
It bounced right up in the Bolton.
and again, sometimes those bounce to your guy.
Yes.
Sometimes they bounce nowhere, and it's a scrum trying to recover the football. But Bolton just gets it in stride, and it is a 14-point swing because it felt like they were on the move going down to take a 21-7 lead. Okay, so then we've got the one throw. If we go back to, I'm going to show you this real quick because I got to give Patrick credit for this one throw. The 7-7 touchdown throw, I went over the top of it, but it's the 18-yarder to Kelsey. This is his best throw of the game. It was his only big-time throw of the game because he didn't have a lot of big-time, deep, long throws.
Yes.
But the 18-yarder to Kelsey to start the scoring off to tie it at 7, this is very good. He read it. He saw it. Slay actually had him
Put him in motion.
Yep.
So now changing you because you want him on the ups.
Because that is a really hard, good throw right over the shoulder to a guy who's virtually uncoverable.
Yeah. Kelsey did a great job of not allowing the DB to square him up.
Okay. So what did Jalen Hurts do after the fumble? This is where he's just winning my heart because he comes right back and he says, okay, I got you. Let me run with the football because I'm not going to fumble it again. That was one mistake that I made, but I will not repeat that mistake. And if we could see what happened on the next drive, it's 75 yards and 12 plays. Jalen just says, I got this. And let's see the it's really 4 runs. Here's the first one.
Draw.
That was the first play of the series. And he's just not going to be denied. And then here he goes again on another quarterback draw.
That's 4th and 5.
Yep, 4th and 5, and he's not going to be denied. And he gets it down to the 10. And then finally he says, I got this, and it's another called run. This man can tote the rock.
You know what I like most?
Power.
You're absolutely right, Skip. But the thing that I love most about the Eagles, they were true to who they were all year.
Yep.
They've been aggressive all year, Skip. And they didn't get in this game, and all of a sudden, you're like, why aren't y'all going for it now?
Yep.
Why you do something?
No.
The thing that I love most about them offensively, Skip, is they stuck true to who they were. They didn't deviate.
They did not.
They put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hand on 4th down and said, make a play. They put the ball in his hand on 3rd down and said, Jalen, make a play. And he made a play. He made one mistake that flipped the momentum back. And it's because it looked like, to me, and I agree with you, looked like
he was like 21-7, and all of a sudden it's 14-14.
And we talk about momentum, Skip. And the thing I said, beginning this game, is that when you have the momentum, how much separation can you put between yourself and the other team?
Agreed.
And that was it, Skip, because they clearly had the momentum. And they kept it, but you allowed them to get a touchdown without Patrick Mahomes being on the field.
That is
correct. And your whole point was take it under 5 seconds and minimize his chances of getting back on the field.
Play, keep away.
Yes.
As Bill Parcells said, shorten the game because you're shortening the possessions for Patrick Mahomes and his opportunities. Okay? So because they deferred, Mahomes gets the ball to start the second half, and to his credit, they just go right down the field, 75 yards in 10 plays, and it's 24-21. It was 14 and a half, so now it's 24-21. Now comes the other key play of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is 6:19 left in the third quarter. This is a deep throw to Quez Watkins, who is the weakest link of those receivers, as you know from the Monday night game when he got stripped. Here's the throw to Quez. And this would have been another big completion for Jalen. He throws a little bit off his back foot, but he hits him right in stride. You have to catch this because if you do, it's going to be 7 points instead of 3 points. How good a throw was that?
That was a great throw.
Yeah, and it's just the young man has to put 2 hands up in the air and snatch the football. It goes right through his hands, through both of them. He got 2 hands on the ball. And if
hit his backhand.
Okay, if you catch it, I'm pretty sure they can cash that because you can have it down to the 5-yard line.
They get
and remember, Jalen had 2 45-yard completions, one to A.J. and one to Devontae. Well, that's another one that looked about 45 yards to me there, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so that is a crushing turning point for the Eagles. That's another play that you left on the table. You fumbled it once, but you could wipe out the fumble there with that one. And instead, even though Goddard made a great play on that they reviewed and it stood.
Oh, the 3rd and 14.
It was 3rd and 14. But they still petered out at the end of that drive, and they had to take a field goal. And you can't do it against Patrick Mahomes and company in the second half of the Super Bowl. So all of a sudden, it's only 27-21. And then now come the 2 touchdown passes you referred to in the second half by Patrick Mahomes. The first one's to Tony. And again, these are both busted coverages, as you said. They're just busted.
Well, Skip, the Chiefs know they're going to come with the double gut blitz. Both backers are going to come. Now, the DB knows I got to beat him to the point, Skip, because if he runs the shallow cross, you see, it's too late now. It's over.
Too late.
Because Kelsey.
He fakes the motion, and he goes back outside.
Hard to stop.
And look, it's just completely busted. It's a walk-in, right? And the other one on the other side to Sky Moore was the same way.
Thing.
Yep. Okay, this is just an easy walk-in. So all of a sudden, they go back ahead 28-27. And by the way, that's the other one. Okay, it's just a walk-in because Avonte Maddox has got him, and he just can't get out into the flat. And you got 2 easy touchdown passes, walk-ins. And by the way, Vic Fangio, it was reported, helped out. He advised on the Eagles' defense yesterday. Well, I couldn't tell. I don't know about you, but I couldn't tell.
But, Skip, at the end of the day, Skip, schematically, you are what you are. You do what you do. And Andy and EB did a great job of finding this is what they do.
Yeah.
And if we set this formation they're probably in the red zone, Skip, they're probably 90-95% of the time they bring the double gut blitz.
Okay.
We know that. But we also know it's man coverage. And guys got to get over the top because you see Kelsey rubbing. You see how hard Slade fought over the top, Skip?
Do I?
He don't want to get picked off.
Yep.
Now option back away. I'm wide open for the touchdown. Same thing to Sky Moore.
Now to the key for the Chiefs to winning this football game. It wasn't a Patrick pass because his longest pass of the day was 22 yards. What it was Kadarius Toney has the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. If we could see this is 10 minutes and a half left, 10 and a half minutes left in the game. And if you let Toney, he reverse field on a low punt, which gave him a chance to see the field. And once he gets the wall and he didn't hit the wall, he ran right past the wall. And all of a sudden he goes clear to the 5-yard line. Well, thank you very much. I think we can cash this, right?
Yes.
So you want to talk about a short field, easy, quick touchdown. And that's the one to Sky Moore that we just saw.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's a huge play that doesn't really count in the stats because
it's field position.
It's just terrible. You cannot give up that. So big picture for the Eagles. Jalen lost a scoop and score fumble. Then Quez drops what would have set up a 7-point drive instead of a 3-point drive. And then they give up the longest punt return in history and give them a 5-yard touchdown. Well, the Chiefs are too good.
Right.
You're going to lose the game if you do those 3 things.
Sometimes, Skip, you got to get a spark from someone you don't expect it. You expect Mahomes to play well. You expect Kelsey to play well. I don't know if you necessarily factored in a 65-yard punt return from Kadarius Toney.
No, and Travis Kelce said after the game, and he was kind of kidding, but kind of not.
Yeah.
Tell me that Kadarius Toney wasn't the greatest midseason pickup in the history of the NFL. Well, they think so because what did he run out of? He's 4'3", right? I mean, he can just flat
Skip, he was a first-round pick, and I think they gave him a fourth or a fifth rounder to get him.
I got him.
And the thing, and Skip, he knows one thing: have to be in there for half the year, and he's gonna give me opportunity.
Yeah.
He's going to give me opportunities that I didn't get in New York. And so now guys are excited. Skip in the Super Bowl. He let the skill position do ring around the rosy again. Skip in the Super Bowl, really?
I know. But it's who he is, what he does.
And they love it.
Yeah,
and
he loves it because it polishes his genius. Oh, Andy's at it again.
He called a master. That game plan he called yesterday.
I know.
That's a masterpiece.
I would like to give Eric Bieniemy some credit for it, but I don't know how to because it's just hard. Because Andy is Andy, and he has become the most beloved coach in the history of the NFL. Help me out.
Because what's not to like Skip? He has a great personality. He's not too serious to make fun of himself. I love a good cheeseburger with anything except mustard on it. He's like, he loves to have fun, but he lays out, and Kelce said, he lays out what he expects from us, and as long as we go do it, have as much fun as you want in the process.
That is
Coach
correct.
Belichick, y'all don't have no fun.
All right,
Be methodical.
Here came Jalen Hurts one last time, and he goes 75 yards in 8 plays because he got Devontae deep, finally wide open behind the secondary, and we can see the pass.
Sneed, you got to overlap. I know you're trying to play 2-by-1, but you can't let one go scot-free.
Well, he jumped it. And Jalen just said, I'm going to throw this up easy so you can just slow down and catch it. And then Devontae he got disoriented and he stepped out of bounds. But if we could see how Jalen then scored and went for 2 and scored, these are big-time runs by a big-time quarterback. So that quarterback sneak is just hard to stop. It's impossible to stop.
I mean, Chris Jones goes over the top and holds him one time.
Try. Now, I didn't think he was going to make this.
I didn't either.
And he just said, I got this. I will not be denied from pay dirt.
Yeah.
And he crashes into the end zone.
Duffy, you got to make this play. Duffy, you got to take his legs out.
You got to make this play. And all of a sudden, we're back to a tie ball game. And yet here came Pacheco, and I want to give him credit because
he ran hard. He runs hard.
He runs angry hard. I've never seen anything quite like it for a kid. This is his first year, and was he ever great?
He was sensational.
Okay, so on the first play of the game-winning drive, it gets to 3rd and 1, and if we could see what he does, Pacheco.
That was a great play call. They got Tooney out in front of him.
Look at this. Whoa.
But see, he's going to learn. You got to make that guy miss and hit your hip. Well, I'm glad he didn't because they scored a touchdown. They go kick the field. That's the drive, the game-winning field goal, Skip.
That was it, and that led to Mahomes, and he motors up the middle for 26 yards, and the game's basically over.
And remember, Skip, McKinnon, they tried to let him score a touchdown.
And he went down.
He said, no, I ain't going to do it.
And that was a game saver. That was a game saver because that just milked the rest of the clock. It was smart because they're a well-coached football team, and they were well-advised, you have to get down. You have to get down. And he did because they were just daring him to score, but he just goes down.
No, I ain't going to do that.
Nope.
I ain't going to do it.
Not going to do it. But in the end, they did get robbed, so that's the end of that story.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Well, Mahomes was sensational. Can we agree now? Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. No question, Skip, right? Go ahead and say it, Skip.
The best quarterback was watching yesterday named Joe Burrow, but that's a whole nother issue.
Don't, Skip. Really, Skip?
So Patrick Mahomes, what did he throw for? A grand total of 182 yards?
What about, hold on, you love QBR. That's the highest QBR, 96.5.
He had a good one.
Hold on, only one other player's been in the 90s. That's Joe Flacco against the 49ers, if I'm not mistaken, in 2012. He had a 90.3. This man went 96.5 in the Super Bowl. I remember you was lauding about one Baker Emmanuel Mayfield had such a good in a wild card game against Pittsburgh.
Is that his middle name?
No, I don't know what his middle name is.
I like it. No, I think he just renamed it.
96.
Emmanuel's godlike, right?
96.5 in the Super Bowl. You say that's with all the chips. That's why you love Tom Brady, because when all the chips get pushed to the table.
I would have given the MVP to the losing quarterback, but that's just
why would you do something like that?
Because he outplayed him.
You don't reward losers. You don't reward losers. That's not what you do. Well, this is pro sports. It's about winning.
You got to give it to somebody, so you say, well, I guess we give it to the quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. Way to go.
So you don't think he's worthy?
Well, Tony might have been worthy with that punt return.
Hold on. I know a guy that got an MVP, threw for 145 and 1 touchdown on a pick.
Yeah.
And he got it.
Yeah,
I ain't going to call his name.
Completed 5 straight passes on the game-winning drive.
This guy was 13 or 14 in the second half.
He was. That was very good for a grand total of 93 yards.
Very good.
Yep. By the way, Jalen Hurts averaged 7.6 yards per completion to Patrick Mahomes' 6.7 yards per completion.
Now I just want to know.
Knew?
I want to know which guy's getting fitted for a ring from Jason of Beverly Hills tomorrow.
I want to go to Disney.
No. I want to know who's going to Jason's of Beverly Hills for the ring.
Yep. You are correct.
But I'm a homeboy. Skip Davis.
I am sure.
You know, I'm going to get me a Mahomes jersey.
It will be an epic design, no doubt.
And I'm going to get a Kelsey, too.
You know what, Patrick Mahomes, guys?
For what? Skip, Jalen was unbelievable yesterday.
Scrambled.
Go ahead, Jed. I'm sorry.
He scrambled, Shannon, for 24 first downs in the postseason. That is double more than any other quarterback, if that's a stat that helps you out, Shannon, there.
He needs some help.
Patrick Mahomes. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.